pretty cheery this morning.
Yes, happy Wednesday. For those of you that are watching, welcome to our Winners Wednesday session where we interview top producers, team leaders, and broker owners from all over the country. And today I'm in Edmond, Oklahoma, and we will be talking with JT Brown. So JT actually just joined us at eXp Realty as one of the newest managing broker members, and we're super excited. And JT, you've got just a wealth of knowledge, such a great diverse background in the real estate industry. So I'm excited for agents to kind of get to know you and your success. But let's take it all the way a step back and, just tell us initially how you got into real estate.
Well, it was not planned initially. It was something that I always wanted to do. I actually took my test in Texas when I was quite a bit younger, and I wasn't in a position to get into real estate at that time because interest rates were high, and I had a brand new baby that I was helping raise, and it just wasn't a good time. And so I started a career in retail and stayed with it for quite a while. And then got to the point where I thought, life is too short. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do what I really felt like I was destined to do. And so I quit cold turkey, got my real estate license, and started as a provisional, a 50-50 split. Didn't know any better, and it was something that I learned. I knew how to sell because retail was always a first love, but I didn't know how to sell a house. And so I took some of the techniques that I learned in selling and parlayed that into selling a house. And I honestly built my business on doing open houses, and that's how I learned how to sell a house, was by doing open houses. But I started as a provisional. I did very well, the rookie of the year, the first year that I was in the business. And then I started growing my business, and I didn't really know where it was going to go, but I did hire another agent to help me. I did hire an assistant once my level got to my volume got to a certain level. And then I decided I was going to go out on my own and do my own company. And I opened Bold Property Professionals in 2013, and it was a swan song. It was great. I enjoyed what I was doing. I had a great business partner who was a builder and developer, and I ran the real estate business, and we also built a mortgage business and a title company, and had a vertical opportunity, and it just continued to be successful. I didn't have an exit strategy, so I kind of got cold feet about where it was going, and wanted to protect everybody that was working for me. So I did sell the business and went to work for another company, and then another company. But while I was doing all that, I got interested in community service and real estate service. I joined the Oakmar, was where I started everything, and started doing committee work. I got into compliance. I really love compliance and professional standards. And then it just grew and grew. And in 2020, I was president of Oakmar. And
where do you find the time?
You know what? The days are still not long enough. But I also do work for the state. I've been on the OAR board of directors. I'm currently on the Professional Standards Committee, but I'm also chairman of the Oklahoma Housing Foundation, which is a whole different story. I've been involved in NAR. I've been on the board of directors of NAR. I'm currently on the Diversity Committee for the government, for the state, for the United States. And it's just been a great opportunity all the way around. Continue to grow the business, My goal now in life is to help agents fulfill their dreams, because I did fulfill my dreams, and it took me to higher levels than I ever thought I could do it. And I'm continuing to grow. eXp is a wonderful opportunity. I've been blown away with all the tools and resources and programs that we offer here at eXp, and it's been a good ride.
I love that. And again, where do you find the time? I mean, you've done all these things in a short amount of time. So let's take it a step back. You opened Bold in 2013.
I did.
What year did you get licensed?
2009.
2009. So 3 to 4 years in, you were already opening your own brokerage. I mean, that's almost unheard of, right?
Yeah.
So tell us, I mean, for agents that are watching this, that are kind of considering that next, progressive step, So you went as an individual agent, and then you went to build on a team, I would imagine, and then opened your own brokerage, and then brought on those additional services like mortgage, like title. But kind of talk us through that. I mean, at what point should an agent start considering a team or opening their own brokerage?
Well, I think you got to get your volume established.
Sure.
And because volume is going to pay for a lot of those things that you want to do. And I'll be honest with you, in 2013, I live in Moore, and 2013, we had a horrible tornado.
Right.
And I had planned on opening my business. It was already, we were painting the walls in the building when the tornado hit. And the tornado hit a block away from where my new office was. And so we started thinking about it. I was going to open July the 6th. And tornado was in May. And so as soon as we could get to the office, we went ahead and opened for business. And obviously we had a phenomenal year. We sold everything we could get our hands on. And Red Cross put a business, a temporary business right in next door. And so we had a lot of attention, and we helped in the community. We did what we could do, but we served the community by helping them find homes.
Sure. No, I remember that. And that it was just a horrific time. We still remember, we took a truckload of items down there, and I remember all the news stations and everything like that. So, but that's kind of interesting how that played a role into your business.
It did. It blew my business apart. I mean, it was crazy. But I've always had great work ethic. And so getting in and spending the time and helping people has been something that I've loved and will continue to do.
Oh yeah, you're such a people person. If anybody knows JT, I mean, he's just the kindest heart. I remember when you opened Bold and you just blew up. So I think you built the office to about 80 agents or so.
I did.
Which is phenomenal, you know, from just a local standpoint and more. I mean, that's absolutely incredible. So at what point, I mean, where did you kind of look, okay, say, I went from a team, now I'm going to build my own brokerage, now I'm going to bring on mortgage and title. What advice do you have for agents that are maybe kind of at that threshold of considering opening their own brokerage? At what point did you say, this is, you know, I'm 80 agents, and then you had your exit strategy from there? So,
well, I will advise anybody, you know, to go slow and don't follow my path necessarily, because it's expensive. It's very expensive.
Sure.
And the reason that I sold the brokerage is because I realized at that time that I couldn't afford to offer everything that I wanted to offer to the people that depended on me for direction and leadership and everything. And so I did, that was a tough decision to make, but it was something, you know, when you have 80 people depending on you for leadership and direction and to feed their families, that's a heavy responsibility. And it's not that I didn't want that responsibility, but I didn't have the means at that time to provide them the resources that I really felt they needed to grow their business. And so that's why I tagged on with a national franchise and did sell the company.
Okay. Interesting. So, and I mean, I know when you had Bold, I mean, all of your agents looked up to you. You're such a great, not only agent, but trainer and just leader in general, which I think has kind of led you to even the position that you're in today. So let's talk about, I want to go back a little bit to your retail history, because I think you mentioned briefly that kind of helped with your success. You had some amazing success very short amount of time. You say has been the key to your success?
Believing that you can do it and not
the
listening.
Mindset.
Yeah, it really is. I know when I first got into real estate, well, people said, don't go into real estate. It's the worst time in the history of the real estate to get into it. Don't do it. You'll never make it. But then I got into real estate. Never said, well, don't do this and don't do that. And don't buy billboards and don't spend your money on this. And, you know, and I'm not one to follow rules like that. And so I bought a billboard.
Are you a rule breaker?
No, I'm a risk taker. And I did buy a billboard one time. And I can tell you, don't buy a billboard.
Me too. I'm right there with you.
But you know, I learned through making mistakes, and I learned through growing. But I learned because I didn't believe that I couldn't do it.
Right.
I always believed that I could do it, and it's been incredible. And I still have that belief in things that whatever you want to achieve, get up, go to work, and do it. And that's where I am.
I think that's so incredibly powerful for you guys that are watching this. I mean, agents, I'm sure you get this question all the time. They're like, what is the secret to success? And I always say, you're not going to like it because
It's
it
work.
means, well, it means you're looking in the mirror and it's your
Yeah.
mindset,
Yeah.
right? And I know that sounds a lot of really cliche, but I truly believe that if you put in the work and you believe in yourself, then the universe is going to provide, you know,
Right.
but you've got to do both of those things. You've got to believe in yourself and you've got to put in the work. So I really appreciate you sharing that because I think that is step number one, and we forget that a lot of times. So you sold your brokerage and you went to another, you kind of partnered with another.
I actually
national
worked for the
franchise.
brokerage that I sold it to.
Okay.
And that was an interesting part of my life. And so I wasn't, it's funny, I wasn't a broker then. I wasn't a broker when I owned my own company.
Oh, I didn't know
And so,
that.
no, I hired a broker to run it so I could be
Smart.
free to entrepreneur and grow it. But I got my broker's license, and which was a condition of me going to work for that company I
Sure.
sold it to. And and I did manage an office, and it was a great experience and some wonderful people. But I got put in a position of vice president of operations over Oklahoma and Texas.
Oh, wow.
And so it was travel, but it was the great part of the travel. The job was not the travel, but it was meeting the people in the different organizations. And so I could really share my story and share experiences there.
Mhm.
And it was good. It was good. And then that company was bought out by another company, and I continued to do the brokering and growing my business.
Sure, absolutely. And so your last position as a managing broker of the office, how many agents, give or take, did you guys?
About 120.
120.
Mhm.
Wow, that's awesome. So now you're kind of new to eXp. What, you're about
Yep.
2 weeks in.
I'm on my third week.
You're on your third week.
Mhm.
Time flies. Oh my goodness. So I know that you loved your previous company and you had a great position there. What was the thing that kind of made you shift and say, okay, I love what I'm doing, but this is where my future is?
Yeah. That was a hard transition because I really did love
Yeah.
what I was doing. I love the people that I worked with, and I can never say a bad thing about them. But I had an interesting conversation and with someone, and your husband, as a matter of fact, and we were having
Uh-oh, he's
coffee one
dangerous.
morning, and he said something, and I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was, think about where you're going to be in 5 years. And that hit home. And I thought, in 5 years, I'll be doing, hopefully, we're blessed to be doing exactly the same thing I'm doing, and continuing to grow and enjoy it. Or I could take a leap of faith and join a company that's got a program that didn't even seem existed prior to it, and see where it goes. And I took the leap of faith and I joined eXp. And I can tell you that my initial response was, whoa, what did I do? Because the programs, I never suspected that the tools and the resources and the programs were going to be as phenomenal as what they are with this company.
Right.
And the potential to achieve your goals, whether it be in selling or in leadership or anything, is unimaginable. It's
Yeah.
hard to imagine what opportunities the agents and the leadership at eXp have.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I always like to explain it's equal opportunity, different results, right?
Right.
But what I love about it, it's not who got in first or who's doing this or what kind of producer you are. Everybody has the same opportunity,
Mhm.
which I think is just amazing, especially in the real estate industry.
It
right?
is. It is. I've never known it.
Sure. And honestly, JT, I was in that same position back in 2014 when I originally came across eXp. I was on the same path. I was going to open my own brokerage, got my broker's license. But when I looked at the model, I was like, if I'm going to bring on agents, I have to believe that I have the best systems and tools and opportunity possible. Otherwise, I'm not going to bring on agents, right? And so that's kind of where eXp came into play. So speaking of your future, because like I said, I know this was not an easy decision for you. It's not one that you took lightly. Where are we going to see JT in the future? What are your 5-year plans?
Well,
I'm excited.
some of this is to be determined. There is a game plan in play, and but I'm going to reach out to a lot of people and share my story and let them know that there are opportunities out there that they may not even know exist.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy to talk to anybody.
That's incredible. Now, before we wrap up here, let's kind of talk about your new position as one of the newest team members of the managing broker team and for the state of Oklahoma, right? The entire state. Because right as you were considering this, we were lucky enough that a position actually opened up with eXp. So talk about your new position as one of the newest managing brokers.
Well, there's 4 of us, and it's a broker team. Kathy Fowler is the designated broker over the state. She's the one whose license is in jeopardy every time makes a decision that they shouldn't make. But we all share an accountability for all the agents. And so we have a great workplace chat that we use, and people can jump on. We're actually available, the 4 of us, and we rotate, weekends and some of the shifts and everything, but we're available all day long until 7 o'clock at night. And agents use us, and you know what? And that's great, because if they're using us and they're asking questions, then they're learning and they're growing, and that's the important thing. But it's great to be part of the team, and it's been a good experience so far.
I think that's incredible. So 4 brokers, an entire team, plus admin support, right?
Admin support, it's incredible.
Yeah, so agents have access to 4 brokers for the entire state. Like you said, almost until about 7 o'clock.
So nobody can say I didn't have anybody to ask, because we're there.
No, I can attest to that. The broker team is absolutely amazing. So we're so excited to have you, JT. And as JT mentioned, if you're watching this, whether it be live or a replay, JT is going to be working with agents all over the country. So not just here in Oklahoma, but you're going to also be adding agents to your organization all over the country. He's a phenomenal trainer. He's a phenomenal leader. So what is the best way for agents to reach out to you, JT?
Well, I'll give out my phone number, but I'd probably get in trouble for doing that.
Right, absolutely. So social media, I think you're on
social
Facebook.
media is a good way to do it.
Yep, message on Facebook.
And I've got 2 Facebook pages. So I'm locked out of one, so I only use the one that's JT Brown. But the other Facebook page is the oldest one, and I've been locked out for 3 months. I can't figure out how to get back in.
Oh no! I hope you didn't have any family photos or
anything.
I did.
Else.
You did. Oh
yeah.
Gosh. Oh goodness. Well, thank you so much, JT. Like I said, I know you're busy, and agents are probably trying to reach out to you as we speak. So we'll kind of keep this short and sweet. But I'm really excited. I'm blessed that you've decided to join our eXp family, and you've come on to the brokerage as the newest managing member. And I just think you're unstoppable from here, because you're just a great asset.
I thank you, and you're a big part of this decision, and you and Moody, and I've enjoyed our relationship, and I look forward to a long, long experience together.
Likewise. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday. Thanks for watching.
Have fun.